Hey guys, welcome back to the second edition of the three-man weave for the regular season. The Hoosiers defeated Chattanooga tonight, 78-53 here at Assembly Hall in the first game of the Hoosier Invitational. It was all about defense tonight. Hoosiers held the Mocs at 27% shooting from the field, I believe 18% in the second half. The 27% is the second best field goal percentage defense in the Tom Crean era. 66 deflections is what Coach Crean said following the game. That is the highest also that he has ever had here. Connor, you wrote the game wrap. It was all about defense, and Victor Oladipo was, again, the guy on both ends of the floor.
It's really amazing what he's been able to do. Obviously going to talk about it in a little bit, but defensively, the impact that Oladipo makes is really few and far between. The way he is able to get in the passing lanes and really turn this transition game into something that, you know what, that was IU's offense tonight. And the way that he is able to just lock down on an opposing player. Last time we saw it against Stony Brook's Brian Dewar. Tonight we saw it against Chattanooga's Omar Watad, and he was able to come in and just shut him down. And that's something that's going to be huge for IU, because going into Big Ten play, there are going to be guys like that are going to be able to take over these games and stuff, and you need to be able to have a lockdown defender, which IU has not had in years past, and it looks like they have one in Victor Oladipo.
Talk a little bit more about Victor. Avi, we saw on Saturday guarding a point guard, and then tonight guarding a guy, Watad, who Georgetown transfer, about 6'5", 215 pounds.
He's a big boy. Yeah, I mean, Victor originally started against guard Keegan Bell, who played for 30 minutes and did not record a point. So Crean, what did he saw how effective Omar was and Omar Watad was. He ended up with 24 points. No other mock, I believe, if that's correct, scored in double figures. So, you know, the 24 points, obviously you're going to look at him and you're going to say, oh man, you know, he definitely had his way. He had his way early on, and when they put Victor on Watad from Bell, definitely slowed him down a little bit. In addition, you know, it's the Victor Oladipo that we've come to know and love, in the sense of electrifying dunks. He had two-handed alley-oop slam courtesy of Jordan Hulls that, you know, ignited a huge run for IU and really caused them to pull away in the second half, got the crowd going, put the offense into a groove. But then there's this component of Victor Oladipo which we're not so familiar with, and that's being the leading scorer. Tonight, he set a career high with 21 points. He tied that career high with 16 against Stony Brook. And I feel like people don't even really, I mean, personally, I didn't think Oladipo was going to be an everyday starter. And he started 2 games, and he's done absolutely fantastic. You know, on both sides of the ball. Connor touched on the defensive point, and now he's adding this offensive layer to the game. He's getting to the foul line. Not only is he getting to the foul line, but he's being effective from there. He shot, I believe, 8 from 11 tonight.
7-8 in the first half.
Yeah.
You know, from the charity stripe, 6 of 9 shooting. You know, so all around, just a great offensive effort. Now the next step to see, is this going to be consistent? And that's something that we'll obviously be finding out in the next coming weeks.
Against Stony Brook on Friday night, Oladipo, it took him 4 seconds to record his first basket. He almost did the same thing tonight. He missed a layup. He also hit a 3 from the corner. His perimeter jumper is definitely something that you can see he's worked on. And after the game, he talked about how the other guy who was kind of the provide a little spark for IU. Scoring the ball was Jordan Hulls. After only attempting 3 shots on Friday night, scoring 4 points. Was over 1 from 3. He was 6 of 9 tonight. The 6 3s, the most he has made since the season opening win over Florida Gulf Coast last year.
It was all of his baskets.
Right, it was everything. I mean, he didn't shoot anything inside the arc. He had 3 assists to go along with that. But we saw him Friday night kind of be more of that point guard, that pass first point guard. He had 6 assists, I believe. Him and Jones had 13 assists, I think, total on Friday night. But tonight, it was both of them kind of took on more of a scoring role. I think Verdell also had 16 points. And Tom Crean made it clear after the game that coaches met Sunday morning, and they said Jordan Hulls has got to shoot the ball. And he is the most consistent three-point shooter on this team. Matt Roth only played 4 minutes tonight. So Hulls' ability to shoot a 3, something I noticed, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed this too, but following the under 4 media timeout, the Mocs went to a 2-3 zone, and on back-to-back trips, the Hoosiers found Hulls, hit 2 open 3s, and that led to that 18-3 or 18-6 run, I think it was, to end the first half. There was a game
18-3 even, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game of runs for the Hoosiers, and that really kind of pushed it. They were down 18-15 when Hulls hit his second 3 of the first half, but his timely shooting was huge, and a lot of that is due to Cody Zeller tracking so many bodies down low.
Yeah, I mean, Zeller was really kind of a different aspect of Cody tonight was the defensive side. We've seen before how he is able to let a game come to him offensively, and he doesn't force shots necessarily, but defensively he was really good at getting in the passing lanes tonight. Set an IU freshman record with 13 deflections tonight.
6 steals.
Yeah, the record was 6 steals.
6 steals, right.
So, I mean, he really, I thought, showed us a lot defensively. Was able to limit whatever post-game Chattanooga was trying to establish.
Right.
And you know what? That's what you need out of Cody Zeller, because it's not going to be enough to just provide the offensive numbers. Cody's going to need to be that defensive presence and to not foul. He had 4 fouls tonight, so a little bit of a setback as far as, had a couple of cheap fouls, but
one
you
was
really
a charge that could have gone either way.
But but you really saw a very solid defensive effort out of a freshman that's showing maturity very, very soon.
Oh, good. Go ahead. And just real quick, to that point, you look at the stats and you say, oh, man, Cody, 2 or 3 from the field, are they not feeding him the ball? Are they not doing a good job of that? It wasn't really that. It was, as Connor touched on, it was the double teams that were coming to him. It was all the attention that he was attracting, and then he could kick it out to Hulls and create opportunity for his teammates. So, just a lesson in the stat sheet doesn't always tell the entire story.
Guys, a couple things quick before we wrap it up. Will Sheehy and Christian Watford didn't look like they're on the game tonight. Sheehy still maybe coming off that flu that he had on Friday that sat him out the whole second half. He kind of struggled a little bit. Bench points, IU had nowhere near the 46. They have 14 tonight. They had 46 on Friday. Watford, guys, you see anything from him? Is he trying to force things right now, or what would you guys think?
He's just not healthy yet. He's just not healthy yet. He's coming off an ankle injury. He doesn't really have much of a burst to begin with, and he's not a guy that's very explosive. But he's very slow off that first step, and that's something that's hurt him so far. He can't really get the shot he wants, and he just looks out of sync out there.
And another quick thing that the Hoosiers absolutely need to work on. It's going to be overshadowed by this huge point margin. Is they got out rebounded tonight. And granted, Chattanooga is a generally a pretty big team. They have pretty lengthy guards, but I mean when you're getting out rebounded 45-36 by a school what conference are they in, Kevin?
The Big South.
The Big South. When you get into Big Ten play, that's just not going to cut it.
To wrap it up here, guys, IU, their first road win afterwards. Jordan Hulls was asked, or the first road game of the year. Will be at Evansville on Wednesday. Jordan Hulls was asked following the game, what do you have to do differently? There's only one true road win in the Tom Crean era in these 3 years, so the answer we'll find out Wednesday night. The Purple Aces were picked to finish 4th in the Missouri Valley. They beat Butler over the weekend in an interesting game down in the Ford Center. So I know I think I can speak for these 3 guys. I watched the game on TV. I'm looking forward to seeing that Ford Center. It'll be a close deadline for the IDS, though, on Wednesday evening, so this video probably won't get up until the wee hours of the morning, maybe even into Thursday. So for Connor O'Gara, Avi Zalen, we'll see you guys Wednesday night.
Don't sleep on the Aces.